Well, I think it's important both for individual people who are suffering from what I would consider what we would call as psychological problems or crises. It's important for those people, but I think those people, and I include myself in this, we have something to say in terms of collective problems that we often push underground. So some of the concerns in terms of urban life, poverty, immigration, stigma against immigrants, stigma against people who've had mental health problems. I think that if we begin to listen to those few who've had the crises, then people who may not have had crises themselves but have struggled in different ways, they may also gain a better understanding of their inner life.
I'm a practitioner, clinician, working in rural Australia, and we're seeing people in crisis day in, day out. And I've certainly had a sense for a long time that the ways that we're needing to work, the restrictions in funding and the models we're using aren't meeting the needs necessarily of people who come knocking on the door. So for me it's about opening up to more collaborative models, more supported models both for our clients who come to see us and also for us as practitioners. And new concepts that are being put forward here in Britain, for example, open dialogue methods of treatment planning would be an example of completely new systems being put forward where it's been found old methods are just showing can't think what to say here, but it's like we're not seeing improvements overall in mental health, and I'm hearing the possibility and the potential for change in directions where people can actually recover with some of the methods and systems that are being trialled. We've still got to see the research findings come in, but I think there's hope of new possibilities that are being discussed in this sort of context, which are very exciting. So I hope to take that back to Australia.
One of the things that has always been really difficult sitting in traditional services is that dissonance that I have, that actually when I'm struggling I will seek alternative therapies. That's my way of kind of looking after my well-being, but I sit in a service and I sit in a place where I can't offer, I can support people if they're doing that, but I can't offer that. So it feels really important that we honour people, whatever their experience is, whatever their narrative, and that's a place that we need to get to.
What really comes to me as really important is that there's a kind of platform to share knowledge and experience from different approaches, different points of view, from people who work as psychiatrists like Russell Razak, who is experienced psychiatrist but also a mindfulness teacher. And the same from different wing, like Catherine G. Lucas, who is a breathworks trainer, and she does trainings for people. And I could say about each of speakers, and for me it's really important to create and be a participant of that interdisciplinary team in Poland, but also around the world, where we can share our experience and knowledge to go forward with a project, to help others, to support others, and to train professionals. So the most important thing for me is that there is a lot of people and a lot of approaches, but the most important is just to spread that knowledge and spread trainings just for others and to help these individuals who suffer and help them to get through the process and just live lives with more joy, love and compassion, just have fun.
I'm quite optimistic now that there's a peer support movement that's coming about. If I had the skills to support the Spiritual Crisis Network, then that's something I would like to do. I've always, since I was first diagnosed, my interest in spirituality just took off, and that made me realise that there's more to life. And I feel that when I'm in hospital, I've been in hospital 5 times, every time there's been someone there having a crisis, and it is of a spiritual nature, but they haven't got the dialogue, or they haven't got the acknowledgement of that. I feel that I've got a new horizon to explore. You know, this is quite an exciting topic, really. You know, it's difficult to find a guru and someone who can really relate to, but when you come to a place like this, you find out each and everybody is a guru and they have a story to tell.
A client and a friend of mine died as a result of a mismanaged spiritual crisis. So I think, you know, the grief and the shock and the disappointment of that has really driven me to learn more about spiritual crisis and how to support people through it, and how the system might need to change and how it can change, and thankfully how it is starting to change. And also there's quite a wound I carry about people's gifts, abilities, potential being missed or suppressed or medicated or inappropriately medicated, because there's a place for it, that's for sure. But I do carry a deep sadness about generations of potential spiritual teachers or leaders or change agents, people that could really help others and make a positive difference in the world, somehow missing, even though, you know, in the bigger picture you could say nothing's really lost or missed. But I still feel a wound or a grief around that. And so that's the deeply personal reason why I'm involved with the Spiritual Crisis Network.